Alright, now that we know about the pump and how to move liquid around, we can go ahead and go over the refinery. The refinery is this funny little thing with 3 glass tanks. When you right click on it, you get these 3 little cubes. What these 3 little cubes are for is letting you choose what liquids go into it. Now if you take a bucket of the liquid you want to go into it and put it in either side, you can tell the refinery what you want these tanks to accept, so you can prevent them from taking liquids you don't want them to accept, like water, and it will show you the output here, which is going to be fuel. Now, in standard BuildCraft, there is only oil you can put in a refinery to get something out. However, this option was put in here by the mod creator, so other mods could use the refinery. Now, oil has to do with combustion engines, as you can see over here. And you can go ahead and fill this up with oil, and you could actually put unrefined oil into it. However, the oil runs much better if you put the refined fuel into it, like we have here. Now, oil in BuildCraft is found naturally. It will spawn in kind of pond type things that will have a big fountain coming out the top of them, and you can go ahead and use a pump to gather oil like you could gather water. And I just went ahead and made a little column here of oil that we can pump out. So I'll go ahead and turn this pump on and start pumping oil out of here, and that's going to get pumped into our tank, and then it's going to get pumped into our refinery. Now if we go ahead and turn our refinery on, that's just going to go ahead and start refining the oil, and that's going to get pumped into here. Alright, now before we start pumping fuel into the combustion engine, we're going to want to pump water into it. So, one second, I forgot to get these engines set up. Alright, so we'll go ahead and start pumping water into it via these tubes. So turn the redstone engines on, and we'll see that the combustion engine starts filling up with water like so. And then we can go ahead and turn these engines on to start pumping fuel into it. There we go, fuel's going into it. And if we go ahead and turn this on, I just have it connected to a pump for example's sake. You can see that this pump is pumping way faster than the one we have set up over there, which actually isn't even on right now, but we can go ahead and turn it on. And you can see that currently with our fuel in here, we're outputting 6 megajoules per tick, while this is only outputting 1 megajoule per tick. So having fuel in here outputs twice or 6 times as much energy as a Stirling engine does. And now if I just go ahead and turn off sending the fuel into here, for comparison's sake, we can go ahead and put some oil in. Once it uses up the fuel that is in there, we'll just give it a second. And I can go ahead and compare the 6 megajoules per tick with fuel to what you would get with an oil. Alright, so I've gone ahead and put some oil in here. We'll go ahead and turn this engine on. Or maybe not. Okay, there we go. I'm not exactly sure why it wasn't turning on. But you can see here with just standard oil, you're only getting 3 megajoules per tick instead of the 6 that the refined fuel gave you. So you can see there is a big difference between oil and refined oil. Of course, you have to use energy to be able to refine that oil and get your max speed engine. But you know, to double your energy output, it's probably worth it, especially if you have a bunch of extra coal or an excess of oil sitting around that you can use to power your refineries. It is definitely a good idea to go ahead and do that. And you can see as this sits here and runs, it actually isn't using up a whole lot of fuel. This could sit here and run for quite some time. However, you have to be careful with combustion engines to keep them stored with water and to make sure they constantly have something to power and that they don't overheat, because combustion engines are very, very fickle compared to all the other engines. They really enjoy exploding. So you need to be really careful with your combustion engines to not have them on unnecessarily, because they overheat really, really easily. Even if you keep them filled with water, there's a chance that if you leave them on for too long, that they will probably overheat and explode. So you can, with a single combustion engine, output the amount of power that you could possibly produce with 6 daisy-chained steam engines. However, in a much more compact space, but again, the engine is more dangerous because of it. Alright. I now hope you guys understand oil refining and fully understand the combustion engine, and I hope to see you guys all next time. Toodles!